the open road. I got the throttle wide open, feel my pace. Got 100 horses between my legs. No destination, no end in sight. Just me and the open road, riding into the moonlight. On my two wheels, all that I need is white lines and gasoline. Life in the fast lane, it's easy to maintain. Just twist the throttle on back and feel no pain. From the open highways, backwoods of the country, where live free or die is the only way. On my two wheels, all that I need is white lines and gasoline. Never look back, never look back. 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 White lines and gasoline. White lines and gasoline. Two wheels in the open road, life and death in my own hands. I am my own justice, I am my own man. I never look behind through all that I have seen. 'Cause all I need is white lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. We believe in the American way, and we built this country called the USA, and we fly our flag 'cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. We never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans. We make up America, it's amazing America. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land? Under the frame fights you and me. The name of the fray, we are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save, this land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, just that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the free, and the home of the
Welcome, race fans, to the Domino's TYJ Racing Premier Xfinity Series, live here on All Pro Broadcasting from Talladega Super Speedway in Talladega, Alabama. This is where what you are always hoping to see. This is where you always want to be. This is exactly where the big one may or may not happen. We have got about 34 of some of the best talented Domino's TYJ Racing drivers in the field tonight. Gabe, I tell you what, this is going to be a shootout, and it doesn't really matter where you qualify. What matters is where you end up at the end of the race on lap 94. It looks like as we speak right now, we do have a qualifying session going on. We have a lot of fast drivers in the field tonight, fans, of course.
Sorry, Robert, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, Gabe, go ahead. I was just introducing the fans.
Well, no, my broadcast mic, so I'm going to be gone for just a few minutes. But it is going to be a good race. I'm going to be back in just a few minutes.
No problem, Gabe. Yeah, I was just telling the fans this is going to be extremely exciting. These Xfinity cars here at Talladega, in the package they have right now, they're going to be running 2, 3 wide, in some cases maybe 4 wide, fans. They're going to have to be very, very careful using the bump draft, because with the new Xfinity package on these cars, the rear end of these cars can get loose extremely easily. Which means, yes, sir, Gabe, we got you. I was just explaining how the new Xfinity package on these cars is going to work tonight, and how it could be pretty dangerous if you're not careful bump drafting. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little bit dangerous here at Talladega now. If you look at the rear spoiler of these cars that are going around the speedway, I'm looking right now at the 3 of Mark Jackson. These Xfinity cars, if you look at the rear spoiler, it is chopped off at the edge of the deck lid. That is reducing the rear downforce of this car. And it's just like on the rest of the speedways, but here at Talladega, it is much more dangerous. This week in the official series is the only time I've ever gotten loose, actual dead sideways loose from somebody bumping me. It was on the straightaway, and they hit me wrong, and it sent me sideways on the front straightaway. I was able to save it, but it's something to look out for. If one driver hits another driver wrong, it's going to end up very, very bad for the rest of the field. So it's going to be one thing to look out for. Here comes Mark Jackson across the line. Lap number 1, that's a 54.166, but that is his warm-up lap right now. Rusco in the 420, he is on track right now. He is your pole sitter. Ellery Queen in the 62 now goes to the top of the timesheets, but he's now going to move to the bottom side of the racetrack for qualifying lap number 2.
Yes, sir, Gab. I tell you what, these guys, they've got 3 laps of qualifying here to get it done. And a lot of these guys have been doing a lot of practicing. They have had their crews working on the cars to get them as most aerodynamically fast in the draft and alone in a one-car situation, which is what these guys do for qualifying. So it's going to be exciting to see who does get the pole here for tonight. Right now it looks like Sean Kalist, and that number 45 is up to the number 1 pole position, but qualifying is not over yet.
Nope, that was lap number 2 for the number 45 machine at Smithfield Air Force Ford Mustang. Number 45 going down the back straightaway. Now on lap number 3. What can he do this time? Cal Kamer in that second spot. 1/1000th behind him. Just goes to show how close qualifying can be as these drivers, some of them are taking 2 outside lane laps. I have seen that. I believe Andrew Kessler may have, or a couple of these drivers, maybe Gerald Campbell, but these guys, they're running 2 laps around the outside. Tyler Chalk goes to the top of the board, and now Josh Bonwell goes to the top with a 53.119. And that was his last lap, so we're going to have to see if that time can hold up less than a minute to the end of qualifying. Gerald Campbell to the top of the board.
I tell you what, Gabe, these qualifying lap times are going to change pretty much as often as the leader of the race tonight is going to change. Here at Talladega in the Xfinity car, I tell you what, you can start 1st, 5th, 10th, 15th. You can even start 30th. And you're going to
Jackson.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
To the top of the board.
I'm telling you what, these changes on these laps are going to change pretty much all night long, fans. You are watching the Pad 250 here on Domino's TYJ Racing Premier Xfinity Series. Brought to you by All Pro Broadcasting. We definitely appreciate All Pro Broadcasting bringing us all the camera angles. Make sure, fans, you click on the subscribe button. That way you get all the alerts for your chance to win the free large Domino's 3-topping pizza carryout only. We'll go over the details here in just a few minutes on how you can get your free pizza, but you want to make sure you click the subscribe button for All Pro Broadcasting.
Going to pull up the points really quickly for this Xfinity Series as qualifying is getting ready to end, and it now has. Mark Jackson is on the pole for the People Against Distracted Driving 250 here at Talladega. Going to go ahead and run through your starting grid as these guys get onto the grid. Mark Jackson, as I said, on the pole with a 53.074, the only driver to get within the 53 flat range. Gerald Campbell starts on his outside. Donald Stewart in that 3rd position. Jeremy Crandall in 4th. Josh Bonwell in that 5th position. Gary Sexton, Mark McFadden, James Somke, Nick Reynolds, and Jeff T. Martin round out your top 10. Andrew Kessler in that 11th spot. Curtis Young in that 12th spot. Tyler Chalk in 13th. Ellery Queen in 14th. Sean Kalist, we saw him just a few minutes ago, qualify provisionally on the pole, but he slid back into that 15th spot. William E. Moore, Cal Kamer, Rusco, Mark McFadden, or Mark Fravert, I should say, in that 19th spot. And the Heartbreak Kid, Giovanni Bramante, lost it in the last corner at Charlotte last time these Xfinity cars were out. He's going to look for a little bit of redemption here at Talladega. Chad Payne in that 21st spot. Wesley Whitfield in 22nd. David Wright qualifies in that 23rd spot. He was first in practice, so he knows how to get it done in the draft. Joe Johnson, your pole sitter from Daytona, does not back up his effort from the World Center of Racing and ends up in 24th. Gerald Heffley in 25th. And your last qualifier is at 85 of Judd Danielson. Kyle Charpentier in the 003. That Apex Racing UK 003 will roll off in 27th. William Davis in 28th. Jack Watson 29th. Ivan Garcia in that 30th spot. Jeffrey Ford, Craig Lerman. Looks like we got Robert the official in the lineup. So you see that official, he will end up dropping out of tonight's race. So Craig Lerman will move up into that 32nd spot. Ramon Vasquez, Chuck Dix, and rounding out your 36 car field is Brent Scott in the number 29.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Gabe. I did do some hot laps here with the guys earlier tonight just to see how the track was going to be. Obviously, I'm not racing tonight, but this track is fast. And I tell you what, Gabe, these cars in a draft will suck up fast. You're going to get a run, and I'll let you go ahead and get her, Gabe.
Tell you what, let's dial up our in-race supporter. He qualified just outside the top 10 in 11th. Andrew Kessler, you got a copy.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Yeah, a little bit. It's an okay qualifying spot, but should be close enough to the front. It really doesn't matter where you start here, but a wreck could happen anywhere.
Yep, you're going to start from P11. You're going to hope to get up front. And one thing that's going for you, I'm not in the race, so I'm not here to wreck you.
Well, hopefully I don't start it tonight and mess up my paddles. 50. So, we'll see what happens. Hopefully things are better tonight, and we keep this thing up front all night. Hopefully get a good finish.
All right, Andy, you get it done in that Aegis Motorsports Monster Energy Ford Mustang in that number 98 machine. Rolling off P11.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Gabe. We have got a lot of very talented drivers here. Just look through the field, the top 10 qualifiers here. Mark Jackson, Gerald Campbell, Donald Stewart, Jeremy Crandall. He's always fast at this plate track, in the number 73. Josh Bondwell, Gary Sexton, Mark McFadden, James Somke, Nick Reynolds, and Jeff T. Martin in 10th. And you cannot rule out Andy Kessler in that number 98 in 11th. Basically, you pick the driver. I'll let you take the free start or the start here of the race. Here, Gabe, it's going to be very exciting.
I tell you what, Robert, she's wide, she's fast, and she is dirty. Here at Talladega, we're underway. Mark Jackson leads off from the pole, but Gerald Campbell gets a good restart. Is he going to have to back off and let that position go? I don't believe so. So Gerald Campbell moves into the lead with Jeremy Crandall in tow. Gary Sexton in that 17 started in the the 6th spot as Gerald Campbell moves now down to the bottom in that 35. It's a new leader as they come out of turn number 2. It's going to leave Jeremy Crandall all by himself with Gary Sexton. That inside lane starting to be dominant. The one thing you got to realize here at Talladega with this draft model, the outside lane will work. You're going to have to work at it for a little while, but you can get it rolling. So Gary Sexton going to move to the top side, drops all the way to the back of the pack, and now Jeremy Crandall is going to have to deal with, looks like Nick Reynolds leading the charge of Southeast Motorsports drivers. He's got Jeff T. Martin in tow. Coming off of turn number 4 to complete lap number 1. Who is going to be your leader this time by? It's going to be Gerald Campbell, that McDonald. Ford Mustang comes across the line, lead lap number 1.
Yes, sir, Gabe. And Mark Jackson is right behind him. These drivers, they all know we got 92 laps to go here. So the first few laps here, you're definitely going to try to maintain your track position. And I tell you what, Gabe, I think pit strategy is going to be bigger at this track in this race tonight than we've seen all year long.
Looks like we got some trouble with the 420 of Rusco, some connection issues there back in the pack. He's all by himself. So if he can just kind of ride there and just kind of solve his issues, he should be okay. But that outside lane starting to fizzle out now, down to 4 cars. Nick Reynolds, Jeff T. Martin, Curtis Young. One more driver looking at the 62 of Jay Queen on the outside. Will anybody challenge Gerald Campbell here on lap number 2? On to lap number 3. Looking back to the pack, want to look at some more drivers. This is their front pack. Want to look to the field, see anybody racing side by side. A couple of these drivers, you look at Gary Sexton in the 17. He's dropped to the back. He's going to try and miss any kind of wrecks that happen, along with, let's see who's all back here. Jack Watts, Kyle Charpentier, the experienced driver, that Apex Racing UK driver, is going to move to the back of the pack there in that Toyota. You see him riding there behind the 83. He is going to ride pretty much for the entire race, I do think, as these drivers start going side by side back in the pack. but he wants to miss that wreck. If something happens up front, he wants to be able to miss it.
Yeah, I tell you what, we got 3 wide coming to the start finish here. It looks like Josh Baumwold got pushed out to the outside.
Somke inside. Looks like the 67 of McFadden. There's still 3 wide. 3 wide with the 56 in the sucker hole. Here comes Donald Stewart to the outside in that number 78 machine, that Boston Red Sox machine coming to the front with them pushed from the outside between Somke and Nick Reynolds. Let's see what's going to happen here. That momentum is going to be stalled by that slow car on the outside, but they should be able to make some headway. Mark Jackson, meanwhile, moves into the lead. He took advantage of the confusion, moved into the lead last time by.
Yes, sir, Gabe. I tell you what, these drivers are racing hard early on in the going, and I do want to remind the fans real quick, just to get it out there, you have got until halfway tonight. Halfway of this race will be lap 47. That is when you want to get your pick in for who you think is going to win the race tonight. If you want to win the free, large, 3-topping Domino's pizza from any Domino's store in the country, carry out only, all you have to do is 2 things, fans. First of all, you can text 919-883-7497. Say, I picked this driver to win the race. Or, if you're watching on your device, you can also use the live chat. Same thing. I picked this driver to win the race. Make sure you get your pick in before lap 47. We're going to have, what do you think, Gabe? At least probably 20, 25 lead changes tonight before the race is over. So, fans...
we're about to have another one because Gerald moved to the top side in front of Donald Stewart. Let's see who's going to lead to the line. I believe Gerald Campbell got it that time by. No, Mark Jackson by 7/1000ths of a second. So go ahead, Robert, continue what you were saying.
Yes, fans, just make sure you get your pick in. 919-883-7497. Make sure you choose your pick to win the race tonight. You can pick it right now, or you can wait until lap 45. But you got to get it in before lap 47. And like I said, we got a field of very talented drivers. They are 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. It looks like about 15, 18 rows back here. Gabe, this is some incredible racing here at Talladega in this Xfinity car.
I tell you what, Robert, 22 cars. Throw them under a blanket, a second and a half apart. You throw the pace car in there, we've got 200-mile-an-hour pace laps. So here comes Gerald Campbell to the start-finish line. Can he get the lead? He will, but he will not be clear by the time he gets to turn number 1. And if he does, will he dump his partner behind him? 78 of Donald Stewart. It's too early in the going to start making a little bit of enemies. But Gerald Campbell did get the lead that time by, so this will bump up that lead change total. So far, we have 2 leaders so far in tonight's race. These drivers, looks like an orderly fashion, 2 by 2. They're all just kind of riding about a lane and a half away from each other. They should be okay. Look at Andrew Kessler there in that number 98 machine. He's running 3rd row inside there on the bottom. He's got Tyler Chalk in the 07 right behind him. So he's going to be looking to make some moves here. He's about a car length and a half back from Mark McFadden in that number 67 Miller High Life Ford Mustang in front of him. Gerald Campbell got to the line that time. But Andrew, if he wants to move up front, if he can have that advantage. You know, if this lane drops back, that outside lane drops back, and we saw this, Gerald Campbell, this is how he was able to get to the lead. That top lane drops back. When they start getting momentum, you hop to the top side and get in front of them and lead that charge and take that momentum with him. And he pulled it off perfectly. Now, he hasn't been able to get clear, but it could be enough to win tonight's race at the end of 94 laps.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, Gabe. I did want to mention we've got 2 big groups here tonight in the race. So far on lap number 8, we got the main pack, which is comprised of about 22, like you said, Gabe, fast drivers. We've got a whole other group about 1 second behind them. This is comprised of about another 10, 12 cars. It is being led by Ivan Garcia in his Ford Mustang GT. These drivers, in my opinion, Gabe, they are just running laps, making laps, monitoring their fuel. They are anticipating the big one, which often we see here at Talladega, Daytona. These guys hopefully will be able to have the strategy to avoid that. We got Kyle Charpentier in that number 003 Apex Racing Toyota. He is right behind Ivan Garcia. We got Jeffrey Ford. He's in that 246 Ford Mustang GT. He is running all the way back in 25th. David Wright, in that number 42, is running in 26th. Craig Learman in that Ranger, number 77, Camaro, he's in 27th. Jack Watts is also back here in the Southeast Motorsports Pad. People Against Distracted Driving, that's the sponsor of the race tonight. He's in that Camaro, running back in 28th. We got Chuck Dix. He's in that United States Postal Service. Great looking paint job on Chuck Dix's Chevy Camaro tonight. He's in 29th. These guys back here in the back. Also, we got the Chick-fil-A Toyota of Britton Scott. He has not been in many races this year, but he is running back here in a safe position. So these guys back here, they are trying to prevent being caught up in the big one if and when it does happen. However, Gabe, sometimes you run the risk of going a lap down if we do not have the big one, Gabe.
That line being led by the elder statesman, the number 72, the 072 of Ivan Garcia. Only driver I know so far in the field that matches his age to his car number. So that old man getting out there and running with the young guys. So he's getting it out there, getting it done in that Ford Mustang. Back up front, Gerald Campbell still fighting on that top side for the lead. And Mark Jackson down to the bottom underneath the yellow line down the back straightaway. And he keeps it going, keeps it pointed in the right direction. We continue racing. That inside lane, we're seeing it. The momentum gets built up. They get about half a car lane, Gerald Campbell does on Mark Jackson, and then the momentum just stalls out. If he can get a run, he's going to have to get clear. He does not have time to wait for that number 78 machine to get clear as well.
Yeah, these guys up front, like we already mentioned in this front group of, it looks like to me, they're Gabe, maybe 20, 22, 23, 24.
Looks like you guys actually starting to drop off at the back. I see Jeff T. Martin, I think, dropping off. So he's moving to the back, trying to move back a little bit. And maybe he sees something starting to brew. I mean, you can kind of see it. Drivers starting to get a little bit aggressive as they start side drafting. And all of a sudden, there's a 15-car pileup.
Yes, sir, Gabe. These guys are maneuvering. These guys up front.
There it goes. The 9-car, Chad Payne, checks up into the 71. 4-car pileup in turn number 3. It's like Judd Danielson caught up in it, Chad Payne, and the 71 machine. I have to check and see who that was. It's like Wesley Whitfield in the 71 gets spun as well in the 18.
Yes, Gabe, as we pull up this replay.
Get that replay for you, yeah.
Yes, sir. It definitely looks like the number 9 Coors Light of Chad Payne had to hit the brakes just a tad to prevent getting into the 62. And behind him, that's where it started.
And you can see it right there. That's what happens. I talked about in the pre-race. You hit the driver wrong. When the 9-car had to check out, the 71 was right there on his left rear quarter panel, and he hit him, spun him sideways, and got him just enough loose. And poor old Judd Danielson in the 18 also gets caught up in that Smart Favorite in the 18 machine, but they also get caught up. Looks like the 58. I have to see who that is.
That would be William Moore.
Yep, William Moore in the 58 machine. Gets caught up in that as well. Did the 420 of Russ Code, maybe he got involved in looking and seeing the top lane. Yep, he did get a little bit of damage from that. So about 4 or 5 cars caught up in that accident here on lap number 12. So a little bit of cleanup going on down on turn number 3. So Mark Jackson comes to pit road.
Yes, sir, Gabe. Thanks for that review on the replay here. We are going to take our first quick commercial break. Fans, you are watching the Pad 250. People Against Distracted Driving fans, make sure tonight, tomorrow when you go to work, put your phone down, put your makeup down, put your hairbrush down. We don't want anybody having any kind of accidents tomorrow, next week. Again, we appreciate you being here. We'll go over the details of the free pizza giveaway. We'll be right back, fans. Thank you, Wesley.
Did your little storm knock out the power? Well, excuse me for not noticing.
Hate to disappoint you, old man Winter. Better luck next time.
If the power goes out, your Generac standby generator goes on, automatically.
Down trees? Flash floods? Is that all you've got?
Stand up to the threat of outages with Generac, and never feel powerless.
Welcome back, race fans, to Talladega Super Speedway, Talladega, Alabama, here in the heart of Dixie. Here for the People Against Distracted Driving 250. Here on the racetrack, the Xfinity cars for the Domino's TYJ Premier Xfinity Series. Real quickly, we're going to talk to one of those drivers. Giovanni Bramante in the number 89 machine. You're in 15th right now. You got a copy?
Yes.
All right, Gio, you talked about in the pre-race, you had the heartbreak leading coming off of turn number 4, but you end up finishing 3rd in Charlotte 2 weeks ago. Do you think you can get it done here on the racetrack tonight?
Yeah, our main plan is just to stay back and save our car for the end, but mostly just save our car, and everybody's going to be aggressive, and we'll just be there, but just being patient and all that. Just working with the team and seeing what we're going to do for pit stops and all that. So really looking forward to a great race.
All right, Gio, good luck to you in that number 89 machine. We're going to go from the youngest driver in the field to the oldest. That's Ivan Garcia in the number 72. Will come to the green flag. He is your leader. Thank you, Gio, for talking to us.
Yes, sir. It looks like we're going to have our first chance, fans, to do what we like to call Domino's TYJ Racing All-Pro Broadcasting. Crank it up, fans. You're going to love this segment. We're going to go about 2 laps here. Hope you enjoyed this Crank It Up, fans.
Here they come to the green flag. Tech, crank up that volume, because here they come to the start-finish line. 200 miles an hour. Here we go. move into the lead for Mark Jackson that time by, with the help from the 003 of Kyle Sharpens here. Came across the line, and they are your leaders. The 072 of Ivan Garcia going to get shuffled out back to the 5th spot. He does not drop down. He's going to slide back in the 6th. That was your Domino's TYJ. Crank it up for tonight's race here in Talladega. Almost closing in on a quarter distance in tonight's race here on lap number 18. But Ivan Garcia continuing his slide toward the back. Now side by side with Curtis Young and now Andrew Kessler there. So Ivan going to continue to slide back. But one thing we're seeing, the outside lane is yet to show up. So these drivers may be looking to ride. After that first wreck, oh, I spoke too soon. Kyle Kamer gets stuck sideways. Oh, big wreck for Mark McFadden in the 67.
Yes, sir, Gabe. We're going to get the replay pulled up here in just a minute, but I did want to review that unbelievable move for the lead there as we were doing the crank it up. The 003 of Kyle Cameron had a great run. He got to the outside, him and Mark Jackson, the number 3, and they moved to the front. We'll get the replay pulled up here real quick.
Crash replay, looking at it. Kyle Kamer coming off of turn number 4, number 51 machine. Looks like he just came up off the bottom end of the 72 of Ivan Garcia. Caught sideways. It would have been a 2-car wreck, but the way he wrecked, he ended up coming back up the racetrack, and a hard impact for the 67 of Mark McFadden. Gets shot at the racetrack, and I believe he also collected, who was that, the 42 of David Wright.
Yes, sir, Graham. I'm going to take about 1 minute to go over this as an admin. I'll be back in just a few minutes if you want to cover pit stops.
All right. Well, while we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and cover your Domino's TYJ point standings for the Xfinity Series. Last week was, 2 weeks ago was Charlotte. William Davis walked away with the victory. Donald Stewart in second, and Giovanni Bramante finished in third. And during that race, Dustin Lee ended up taking the lead in the point standings by almost, it looks like about 40 points. So a huge command for that Dustin Lee, the number 32 machine. Unfortunately, I don't believe he's here tonight. So these drivers make their pit stops. He's yet to win, but he's got 5 top 5s and 6 top 10s. Behind him, Gary Sexton and Ray Richard. They're tied for that second spot. 1 point behind them, Judd Danielson. 5th in points is Nick Reynolds, Jeremy Crandall, Jeffrey Ford, Josh Bodwell, Jack Watts, and Donald Stewart. It's a close fight for your top 10 positions in points. Coming off of pit road. Let's see who's going to get it done here. It looks like Mark Jackson in the number 3 machine. Ended up coming off of pit road in the lead again, so he's going to come back to the start-finish line and inherit the lead. Updated running order, we will get that to you as soon as he comes across the start-finish line. I'm going to go over a few of the sponsors for these guys. The Over the Top Paints Machine, the number 3 of Mark Jackson, and of course the Die-Hard Sox fan behind him and Donald Stewart. James Somke, of course, the Bass Pro Shots machine he's been running for the longest time, and the 299hockey.net machine for Curtis Young. Ellery Queen coming across the line, or coming through turns 3 and 4. It's the Impact number 62, so your top 5 all lined out. And then you got the Southeast Motorsports guys right there by 7th or 6th and 7th. There, Nick Reynolds and Jack Watts. Coming to line, they're going to complete lap number 20. They're going to cycle back around in. They're going to update our running order. Working caution number 2 here at Talladega. Been a relatively clean race. We ran about 15 laps, green flag side by side, so it was getting good, and then we just had a little bit of contact. Ended up having about a 4 or 5 car pileup, and now, as you just saw, we're having a second caution. We cross the line this time by the complete lap number 20. Mark Jackson is your leader. Donald Stewart in second. James Somke in that first position. Curtis Young, Ellery Queen in that 5th position. Kyle Sharpentier, the Apex Racing UK 003 in the 6th spot. Jeremy Crandall in 7th. Andrew Kessler, Craig Lerman, William E. Moore was actually involved in that accident. He's now running in the top 10, so a good recovery from that number 58 machine. Judd Danielson, Chuck Dix, Brent Scott making one of the few starts in the series in 13th. Ivan Garcia in 14th. Josh Bonwell in the 15th spot.
Yeah, I tell you what, there was some seriously hard racing there. It is hard to put a finger on anybody who calls that one. A little bit more give and take, and I think that would not have happened.
It's just a mistake from that. I'm trying to remember who it was, but the 51 at Cal Kamer coming up off the bottom. You know, it was just, you know, he was just not listening to his spotter and ended up drifting up and into the 072, at least from my perspective. But of course, some people may have some different views of that incident. But Robert, we're going to come back to the green flag maybe next time by.
Yes, sir. Gabe, I do appreciate that update. Again, fans, you are watching the Pad 250 live on All Pro Broadcasting. People against distracted driving. Fans, you want to make sure a couple things. I'll give you the goodie first. If you want to win that free pizza tonight, it's real simple here. Text 919-883-7497. If you're watching on the device on your device, you can comment in the live chat who you think will win this race. You have got until lap 47 to get your pick in. We've given about 24 now, I think, Gabe. Pizzas here in the last 27 weeks. So fans, make sure you get your pick in 919-883-7497 or comment in the live chat. You got a lot of great drivers in this field, I'll tell you what to pick from. You can almost pick anybody at this point. Obviously, Mark Jackson, he's going to be taking the lead here on the restart. He is running in first, started first. Donald Stewart, James Somke, Curtis Young, Ellery Queen, Kyle Charpentier, Jeremy Crandall, Andy Kessler, Craig Learman, William Moore, Judd Danielson, Chuck Dix, Brett Scott. All these guys on the lead lap. Any of these guys can win this race tonight, fans. Josh Bonwell, Gerald Campbell, Gio Bramante. We got Tyler Chalk, Gary Sexton, Joe Johnson in 19th. William Davis. I'm not trying to give the broadcaster a headache here. I'm just going through the guys that are still on the lead lap. All the way down through, we got Chad Payne, William Davis, Jeffrey Ford, Mark Fravor, Gerald Heffley, Nick Reynolds, Jack Watts, Wesley Whitfield, David Wright, Sean Kalis, one of the newer drivers. He's having a great season so far. Ivan Garcia, Kyle Cameron. All these guys can win this race, so make sure you make your pick. Again, 919-883-7497. And Gabe, it's up to you. You want to do another crank it up here on this restart?
No, looks like we got about one more lap to go. I'll tell you what, let's do a little something different. I thought about something. Let's do a Domino's mailbag. If you fans want to send us in a message in the YouTube chat, ask the drivers any questions. Looks like we got Mark Jackson lined up. Everybody wants to see either him or Ivan Garcia, so we're going to end up lining that up here. But well, let's see here. Any questions for Mark Jackson here in just a few minutes? Let's get some questions in, and we'll talk to him here on the next caution.
Yes, sir. And while we're waiting for the restart, we do have a little bit of time here. I'm going to do a real quick Domino's driver profile. Joe Johnson is driving that number 83. He is from Florida. He actually works in South Carolina for the University of South Carolina. His sponsors are iWraps. He's been in iRacing for 4 years. He wants to thank Johnson Lawler Motorsports for all their help getting him where he is today. He is a big contributor to our iRacing league here at Domino's TYJ Racing in all three series. The Den Defender Trucks, Premier Xfinity that you're watching tonight, Top Shelf Cup, which will be next Thursday night. And fans, make sure you do not miss our newest Dirt Series on Sunday nights. All these races at 8:50 p.m. Eastern, live on All Pro Broadcasting. Make sure you click that subscribe button, fans. Once you click that subscribe button, you get all the alerts. You don't even have to worry about it. You get a signal to your phone to let you know the race is coming up. That way you can get your pick in to win that free pizza. I tell you what, I love Domino's Pizza. I worked there from 1987 through many, many, many years. And I tell you what, I'm a big part of what Domino's is doing. I do not own a store, My co-owner does. He owns about 7 stores here in Central North Carolina. Thanks to him, Bart Crum. And I'll let you take this restart, Gabe.
All right, Robert Pace car pulls down. Mark Jackson again going to be in your lead. The number 3. Starting there, that over the top paints. Number 3 machine on the inside lane. He's going to get the restart here. Will that outside lane get the jump? Here comes Donald Stewart, the driver he's been working with all night. Now is his enemy. He's going to have to make quick friends with James Somke, but that run is coming. Will Donald Stewart get clear by the time that momentum runs out? Curtis Young to the back bumper of him. This could be their chance, because look at the gap between the 3 and the 1 on the inside lane, and they are 3 by 1 on the outside. They're nose to tail. Donald Stewart's clear. Will he wait for Curtis Young? No, he won't. Curtis Young bumps into the bottom. Oh, that was close, but Curtis Young ended up making it work. Almost turned sideways. Donald Stewart in the number 78 machine. He did not want to get stuck on that outside lane.
I tell you what, Gabe, whether you pick the outside lane on these restarts or the inside lane, whether you have a teammate or you do not have a teammate, here at Talladega, everything is off the table. You got to run with who you're with any given lap of this race, and we're only at lap 24. Fans, you get to lap 47 to get your pick in. But we got a lot of drivers up front. We haven't seen up front a lot tonight. One of those by chance is Chuck Dix. He's racing that beautiful number 99 United States Postal Service car. He's up to the 11th position. Looks like Chuck started all the way back in 35th. So he is one of our biggest gainers. So I tell you what, Gabe and fans, where you start, where you restart, it does matter, but you can make moves quicker than I can say Domino's TYJ Racing.
So these guys, it's getting close up front because these guys move around, and now Mark Jackson moves to the top side. Oh, the one gets loose in the tri-oval. Can he hang on to it? He does. What a good save from the number 1. Looks like just got a little arrow loose in the tri-oval, but he ends up hanging on to it. So we remain under green. And that little checkup, that's going to allow. Look at the 003 and the 3 on the top side. Can they get it done? Only 2 of them on the top side are even close enough to get a sniff of the tandem. So it's 2 by 2 for the lead. The 3 of Mark Jackson up 2. He's now not clear, but into turn number 3, he is your leader. Donald Stewart to the inside. Can he make it work? They go into turn number 3 at 4. Who's going to lead it this time by here on lap number 26? That top side breaking up just a little bit. And here comes Andrew Kessler in the number 98 machine. He's made the proclamation. He's going to win James Ross a pizza in that number 98 Monster Energy Ages Motorsports number 98 machine.
He may win him a pizza.
He may just, because here he comes. At the number 45, Sean Kalis there to the inside lane. On the apron. Look at those 2, the 3 and the 003. They're hanging tough there on the outside lane. Can they get it done? And they've had some momentum pushes. Here they come. But Curtis Young is just so good there as a pusher. I don't think they're going to be able to get clear. And speaking of drivers who we haven't talked about as this lead's going on, the 77 are Craig Lerman. He started in 33rd, now he's into the 8th spot, right beside 73. Excuse me, a little bit of a rag moves there, but the 73 of Jeremy Crandall and Ellery Queen behind them. Josh Bonwell actually got hit in that last wreck. Looks like it's not affecting that number 56 machine all that much, because here he comes. He's inside the top tip. He's going to try and form up on that outside lane. They're still trying to work that top side. They've got some help coming. Can they get them? Can they pull the 77 and the 56? Looks like they're starting to draft together. Here comes Curtis Young. Oh! Curtis is getting a little bit daring with those moves. He's trying to slide back into the inside. If he doesn't be careful, he's going to end up turning that 78. And that little checkup, it's allowed the 3 to get up front. Can he get clear? And will he wait for the 003? Here they come. They've got help coming behind the 77 and 56.
I tell you what, Gabe, one thing you will find out 99% of the time, Curtis Young, he's not going to wreck you. He might be running 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 10th. He is the 2016 Denver Defenders Truck Champion. He knows how to get these cars around the track. Of course, at Talladega, Daytona, anything can happen, and he made an incredibly smart move there to back out of the gas for a half a second, not to cause a big caution there. He's going to continue to ride behind the 78 of Donald Stewart. I tell you what, Donald Stewart, he is one of our newer drivers here in the series. He is definitely having a great run tonight in the 78.
Oh, Robert, the 3's clear, and is he going to come down?
It looks like he will.
Oh, the 78 has to back out of it. Looks like he was clear, but he was just hesitating there, trying to move down. Didn't want to cut off the nose of the 78, but he ends up moving down. And now here comes Sharpens here on the outside with help from Craig Lerman. And I'll tell you what, the one thing that killed that inside lane, Andrew Kessler, he got backed up. The number 94 and 78, they pushed away from the rest of the pack, and the momentum ended up carrying that outside lane, so they didn't have the drafting help in the inside lane. But here comes that 003, Craig Lerman, now trying to push him to the front. It's Kyle Charpentier, an Apex Racing UK Toyota. Here they come. Is the momentum gonna come? He's to the back bumper. 2-car tandeming there on the outside. Will he get clear? He gets close, but he's not gonna fight it. He's not gonna even gonna attempt to get to the bottom. Tell you what, Robert, almost at a third distance in tonight's race. I think it'll be this time by. Only 2 cautions, and we've had some great side-by-side racing. None of the single-file stuff that you usually see from races.
I tell you what, Gabe, this incredible Xfinity package here for Talladega and Daytona, it benefits everybody up front here who has 0 damage. These guys were 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Looks like about the first top 15, 16, 14 cars. They're racing hard, and they're being very respectful. I tell you what, it's not over yet. We're going to have a lot of pit strategy here coming up, Gabe. So just because you think these guys up front might be leading and they might win the race, when you have a green flag pit stop, which will come up here in a few minutes, everything can go wrong for you. You got to get down pit road. You got to be perfect on your pit strategy. Your crew chief's got to call you in perfectly. Your crew's got to make sure they have 0 mistakes. So these top runners, they're looking good right now, Gabe. I tell you what, at lap 32.
Looking good. That momentum carries.
Yes, sir.
Charpentier to the lead. He gets clear, but he's going to leave out the 77 of Lerman. And look at that. Kyle Charpentier now, lead change.
Yes, sir. And while we're talking about Kyle, he made an incredible move there.
And I'll tell you what, Robert, I didn't even notice this. These guys have drafted away from the rest of the field. Did somebody have to check up? Because these guys, they are 7.8 seconds in front of the rest of the field.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, that's incredible. Real quick, Kyle Charpentier in the 003. He is from North Smithfield, Rhode Island. He is driving that 003 Ford. He is one of the fastest drivers in every single series he races in here at Dominus TYJ Racing. Real quick, his sponsor is Apex Academy. They have some incredible setup race line help. He's gotten a lot of advice from them. He has been in iRacing for, it looks like, about 5 months. He is only 17 years old. I tell you what, Kyle Charpentier is a threat to win any race he is in.
That 003, not old enough to buy a cigarette, but he's smoking out the rest of the competition. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, that
003 coming off of turn number 4. Yeah, I apologize for that. That was
perfect. I tell you what, Gabe, that's why we have you making the big bucks here. All those big bucks you're making because you have got the greatest calls in iRacing. Thanks again, Gabe. And this is an incredible lead up here in the front.
Charpentier in the lead. Craig Lerman with help from the 57 of Bonwell. Little shout out, Josh Bonwell's mom. She always watches these broadcasts, so we're going to give a little shout out to her. She's always watching her son. And the 56 up front in the top 5 right now in this 10-car breakaway. So your entire top 10, they're in your shot. Tell you what, while these guys are racing side by side, when we go back and look at a few of these drivers, your second pack led by Jack Watts, and looks like Giovanni Bramante has actually been shuffled out. He's now in that second spot inside lane. They're in 12.
Yes, sir. It looks like we have a whole other group of drivers back in that second pack. And like you said, it is being led by
Jack Watts in the number 66. Now it's Nick Reynolds as these drivers. You know, if they want to catch the rest of the field, they're going to have to run, single file. This side-by-side stuff, it's killing their momentum. There's a reason that they're now 10 seconds behind, 11 seconds now behind the field.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go through the order right here myself. I tell you what, Gabe, these very talented drivers, they are spread out all over the track. And they all know if the yellow flag comes out one more time and you're on the lead lap here or you're the first car, one lap down,
Get back
go
in
ahead.
front. Something's happening. Mark Jackson on the inside, a little bit of a shuffling out. Now Sharpen's here to the outside lane. He's got help from the 56 and Josh Bonwell. Curtis Young and Jeremy Crandall there on the outside. They're side by side for the lead. A little bit of shake-up. I think Lerman got to the inside, and the 003 went up to the top to try and block the momentum.
I tell you what, that was a veteran move by the 003 of Kyle Charpentier. And now he's back down to the bottom.
That's going to leave Josh Bonwell on the outside with help from Curtis Young. And Curtis, can he help? That number 56 to the outside. Oh, he gets him. He loses it just a little bit. Curtis has got to watch out.
I tell you what, that is some exciting racing up front.
Good save from the 56 of Bonwell as well, maintaining a sideways super speedway car. These cars are already unbalanced, so he does a good job. And tell you what, even with having to let off, I think he kept his foot in it because he's still racing for the lead. So lap car James Somke on the outside. We saw him spin from the top 5 there on the front straightaway.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, James Somke is racing that Bass Pro Shops Mustang GT. He obviously had some issues early in the race. Actually, he's in that Camaro. My bad. All fans, all drivers, please forgive me. James Humke is racing that Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet Camaro. If I was getting paid for this, I'd probably lose my job for that mistake. But he is definitely...
73 gets spun sideways up front. That's going to bring out the caution. Donald Stewart came up the racetrack into the 73. They're in turn number 1 and 2. It's Jeremy Crandall spun sideways.
Yes, Gabe, as we get this replay pulled up, this is what...
Andrew Kessler gets caught up in it.
Yeah, this is going to bring all the drivers that were that 7-8 seconds back up to the lead here. Unfortunately for the 78 and the 73, they're going to have some serious damage, as well as the 98. And this is going to change everything, Gabe.
All right, fans, last chance. Any questions you want for Mark Jackson? He's going to be the first one after pit stops to get an interview. He's going to be our in-race reporter after the pit stops here.
Yes, Gabe, thank you for that exciting special feature there. Make sure you get your questions in real quick here for Mark Jackson.
Got to get the fans involved.
Yes, sir. And just real quick on that replay, it definitely looks like it's just hard racing. These guys were doing 199 miles an hour, and you just have a slight misjudgment. Your spotter says you're clear. You might not be clear.
He just drifted up the racetrack. It was a shame. It just could be a bump in turn number 1. It just sent him up the racetrack and into the 73. It was unfortunate. I mean, there was definitely something he could do, but, he wasn't expecting it.
Yes, sir, Gabe, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it looks like the 78 just drifted up.
All right, these guys coming into the pits. So Charpentier is going to be the first one. But, yeah, I've been in that situation. You're sitting there, you're following behind the car in front of you, and you misjudge the corner. You go into the corner, and, you think you're turning enough, and all of a sudden you're drifting up the racetrack. And it's just an unfortunate situation. You just kind of, here at Talladega, I think you blink about 3 or 4 times during the entire race. If you blink, you're losing concentration. And, that may have been what happened. These drivers come off of pit road. This looks like some 2-tire calls, maybe. Because, Mark Jackson. Let's see who's going to be the first one. Looks like Curtis Young is actually going to come off of pit road in the lead. Or at least the first one to come off of pit road. We do have some drivers that have stayed out.
Yeah, thank you, Gabe, for that update. And do we have any questions for Mark Jackson? Actually, hopefully you can get some questions for him real quick. We'd love to have some interviews for any of these drivers, especially the front runners.
Mark Jackson in the number 3 machine. You got a copy.
Hey, Gabriel.
How you doing, buddy? It looks like you got a couple fans in the stands because they voted. You know, it was an overwhelming majority between you and Ivan Garcia to talk to. So we're going to talk to Ivan here under the next caution. But right now, it's all you, man. And they've got a little question for you.
And what would that be?
James Ross, he's asking, what are you thinking while running 200 in this little pack here? Because it's a little bit different. You know, the draft model, it's something new.
Yeah, trying to bunt draft is not working out too good. I mean, you can get a little bit of a draft. I mean, touching the guy in front of you, but if you catch him off center, if you touch him in the turns, they're going around. And so far, so good. We've kept our over-the-top paints and designs Chevy's Camaro up here in the front. So far, we're trying to keep it clean and trying to stay out of trouble. It's tricky. Car's loose. It's really loose when you get bumped. So we're having a good run, and just want to say thanks to PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. Great cause, great family, the Cleany family, and appreciate everything they do for bringing awareness to distracted driving.
All right, one more question here before we let you go. Looks like another James Wormsley. He's asking a question for the number 3. When it comes to the closing laps, when is the right time to make a move? Because, you know, depending where you are, if you're riding in second, is it coming off of turn 4, or do you have to make it earlier?
Well, you're going to have some help, and actually, I think the right time is coming down the backstretch, going through 3 and 4. Whoever's going to make that move is going to have some help, and then they're going to have to be really good on the side draft. It's all going to come into play. It's going to come down to probably the first top 5 in the who wins this race. But we have to make it there first. So.
10 more mark, you're halfway from it here in the closing stages of the halfway points. So Mark, good job on staying up front. Good job on having a fast race car, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Gabriel. I just want to give a shout out to my fiance, my son Andrew, my fiance Kristen. We love you guys, and give all the glory to God. And hopefully we can bring home a good finish here.
All right, Mark, good luck to you here on this restart.
Yes, sir. Now we have leading the race, Ivan Garcia.
I was just about to pull him up. I was like,
yes, sir. We got time. Yes, sir. Ivan, you started 30th. You're up to first. I tell you what, we are so excited for you to be part of Domino's CYJ Racing, as we are for all the drivers that have signed up and paid their dues to be part of this racing league. I tell you what, we are trying to put everybody on the fast track to fast. That is our motto, Ivan. You're leading this race. What are your chances? How'd you get to the front? And can you win this race?
Looks like we may have to try him later.
Yeah, just a second.
We've been sent to voicemail here. Domino's TYJ broadcaster and All Pro Broadcasting. Robert, they're going into turn number 3, so I think we're going to have to let Ivan go, let him get to the restart. We're going to talk to him here on the next restart. We're going to give him time to focus and get it done here on the restart. So that's Ivan Garcia, the 072 on the inside lane. Curtis Young on the outside, number 94. Ellery Queen in 3rd. Craig Lerman in 4th. And Kyle Charpentier in that 5th spot. Look all the way back to Mark Jackson. We just talked to him. He qualified on the pole. He's in 6th. Here they come off of turn number 4. Look for this restart. The last time the 072 was in the lead, He did not get a good restart, and he ended up being jumped, and here he goes again. Oh, this is not going to turn out well. The 072 is all by himself out front. That is not what you want to happen. This is going to get ugly here in turn number 2. Because here comes a momentum from Ellery Queen and Kyle Charpentier on the inside lane.
I tell you what, Gabe, this is what we had last time, last restart. It looks like Ellery Queen gets to jump to the high side. The 003 of Kyle Charpentier is stuck behind the 072. He's going to give him a push. Who is going to win this lap? Coming to the start finish. It looks like Jay, or Ellery Queen, I know him as Jay, in the number 62. He's had a lot of bad luck this year in 2017. He is one of our veteran drivers. I'm sorry, Gabe, I got to ramble here for a second. He's on the high line here. He's getting a push from, looks like Curtis Young, but it looks like Ivan Garcia is going to beat him to the line here and win this race, for this lap at least.
Can we get an oxygen tank up to the broadcast booth for Robert? Here comes Ivan Garcia to the line. Robert, I see you're finally getting into it.
I tell you what, I love to see these guys that are new, and Ivan has got a couple of years on him, and Jay Queen, Ellery Queen, that number 62. We'll talk about him in just a second. He's had a lot of bad luck from that 003 of Kyle Charpentier. Make this move to the outside.
He's going to have to get that momentum from the 62 and the 94. Look for the check up there. This is going to get big because here comes Mark Jackson to the inside. Will he stay behind the 072? Will he make the move to try and get out front? It looks like he may have the chance because Charpentier falling back. There he goes to the outside. This is going to get bad. The 77 now. Craig Lerman is the only hope for the 72 Ivan Garcia. Here they come to the line. The 3 of Mark Jackson in the lead that time by. He's now clear. Is he going to wait for Charpentier? Charpentier is clear. Or it's getting close here, but the 72, he's coming back. They're going to need to drop down if they're going to have any shot at retaining this lead, because here comes that momentum back. Not going to be enough. Charpentier and Jackson are both now clear.
Yeah, I tell you what, Gabe, this is some incredible racing here. And like I said, we got 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, about 5-6 cars back. That's your top 10, maybe your top 12. We got some drivers who've not been up in the front so far tonight. Unfortunately, the caution has come out. Fans, we will get... Well, it looks like we're going to stay green.
No caution, no caution.
Yeah, you keep up with the leaders there, Gabe. I'm going to go over the caution here real quick and just let the fans know what happened. But if you keep up with the leaders, I'll let you know what happened.
All right, here comes, looks like a big lead for the 003 and the 3 of Mark Jackson as they're going to sort out the driver. Ellery Queen actually got caught up in that little accident. No caution here, though. Here comes Giovanni Bramante, finished 3rd in Charlotte 2 weeks ago. He's now working his way around the 072. Old versus young. Here they come. Experience versus, I guess you could say, youth. In that number 89, oh, he almost comes down to the bottom, and Curtis Young fills that hole. 72, Ivan Garcia doing a great job holding that inside lane. He actually had the speed in practiced in 3rd. He did not qualify, so that's 072 looking to make a statement here. Jackson Charpentier still on the inside. Giovanni Bramante, no help on the outside. And looking here again, 8-car, now 9-car breakaway up front.
Yes, sir, Gabe, I tell you.
Sideways on the back straightaway. Up and over goes the 94, down the back straightaway. He got hooked by the 07 of Tyler Chalk. Looks like just a 2-car incident there, but the 94 Curtis Young, and that's going to be an end to his night.
I tell you what, fans.
Oh, it's these drivers, what are they doing? They did not check up for the wreck. I'm sorry, Robert. The 71, the 10, they full throttled it into the wreck. I mean, the 58, the caution has been out for a while.
Yes, we're getting the replay pulled up real quick here, fans. That first replay I was looking, it definitely looked like the 62 and the 94 just got too close together in these Xfinity cars. That's going to happen. No caution came out. The second time, what did you see, Gabe?
I just saw the 07 and the 94 get hooked together. It wouldn't have been that bad, but these guys, they need to learn how to let off. I mean, there's a wreck in front of you. As soon as you let off the gas, your automatic reaction time is better than if you're full throttling into the wreck. And there's 3 or 4 torn up race cars that shouldn't have been. Yeah, that's the one thing I do not like, about sim racing. The guys, they full throttle at the rate like it's 2003, that they're racing back to the line.
Yeah, it looks like on that most recent caution, these two cars, the 07 of Tyler Chalk, he got a great big run on the outside of the 94 at Curtis Young. And Curtis went up to block, perhaps, just misjudged it.
I'll tell you what, as we're sitting here, we're crossing the halfway point. We're going to take a commercial break and be right back from the People Against Distracted Driving 250, I should say. And remember, get your picks in for that free pizza giveaway. Actually, I think is it closed? I think now.
Yeah, right now, yes, fans, make sure you get your picks in. We'll give you a lap 50. We'll give you an extra 3 laps tonight because we have so much excitement going on the track. It's even hard for Gabe and myself to keep up. So you got 3 more laps to get your pick in for the winner tonight, and your pick might have just got taken out, so you can pick again.
All right. Well, yep, we will go to the commercial break really quickly here from Talladega Super Speedway. We'll be right back with the restart just after halfway.
Smithley, driver the number 0, JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
Did your little storm knock out the power? Well, excuse me for not noticing.
Hate to disappoint you, old man Winter. Better luck next time.
If the power goes out, your Generac standby generator goes on automatically.
Down trees? Flash floods? Is that all you've got?
Stand up to the threat of outages with Generac and never feel powerless.
Back here live, Talladega Super Speedway, Talladega, Alabama, here in the heart of Dixie. As I've said before, it is the great American Speedway in the South. Here, Kyle Charpentier is your leader in the people get distracted driving 250. Should say 94 laps on tap. We're through 50 of them, and the vote is now closed. Your picks are locked in for the free pizza giveaway. So, whoever you've got it now. It's locked in. Kyle Charpentier. Maybe he's one of your picks. David Wright, Josh Bonwell, Gerald Campbell, and Jeffrey Ford in the 246 are your top 5. They're going to come off turn 4. Robert, they're going to get the green flag here. I'll tell you what, it's getting close. It's getting rowdy here. We've got 17 cars on the lead lap. We may just do a Domino's TYJ Premier Xfinity Series. Crank it up as they come down to the start-finish line. Pace car pulls off. Turn up the volume, crank it up, and rip the knob off. Here they come to the start-finish line. It's time for a Domino's TYJ. Crank it up. At the line that time by Josh Barwell leads his first laps of the night with the help of Gerald Campbell. He's now going to pull down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Gerald Campbell now with the help from Mark Jackson. Can they get that momentum going and get that McDonald's Ford Mustang to the top side, to the top of the scoring pylon? Here they come down the back straightaway. Can Gerald get clear? It's going to be close here down the back straightaway. He's clear. Will he wait for Mark Jackson? Looks like he is actually, so that's faithful, and I spoke too soon. Looks like he's going to try and help him maybe. But he's going to leave now, that 3 of Mark Jackson to the top side and let him out to dry. And Gerald Campbell, after about 20 or so laps, he's now back into the lead.
Yes, sir, here at Talladega. I don't care if you're in the truck, Xfinity car, or the top shelf cup car. You got to make your move when you can make it. If you don't think your partner can get down and behind you, and you know you can clear the leader, Gerald Campbell made an excellent move there. And right now looks like they're 56, and they're 3 wide.
3 wide for the lead down the back straightaway. 3 wide, no help behind them. This is going to get big. They're now 3 wide, 2 rows deep. Here they go. Who's going to come out of turn 4 in the lead? Now Josh Bonwell with the help on the middle lane. First time we've been able to call that the middle lane here. Here comes Mark Jackson. Willie O, and he turns him.
Yes, they look like
Does not come out. So we're going to have to go back with the leaders. Charpentier. Now, looks like Judd Danielson into the lead with the help from Giovanni Primonte in the 89.
Yes, sir, Gabe. If you keep up with the lead, I will cover this replay of the spin. Even though we're staying green, I will give the fans the update real quick here on what happened.
Looking at the replay of that wreck, it looks like Mark Jackson just came through the middle, gave just a little bit too much of a shove to Josh Bonwell in that 56, sent him sideways, and I think he may have tried to save it, but he ended up cutting across the nose of Gerald Campbell. So 2 good cars taken out.
Yes, sir, that's exactly right. unfortunately, those are out. And guess what? We have new people up front in the lead of this race.
We haven't talked about Judd Danielson or Jack Watts all night.
I tell you what, I mentioned this at the beginning of the broadcast, Gabe. We can't even predict who's going to qualify first, and there's no way you can predict who's going to win one of these plate races. This is exciting, and I tell you what, it's good to see the Domino's TYJ Racing Chevy Camaro up front.
Yeah, Judd Danielson peeking to the outside. He was going to try. Here comes that momentum, a big push between the 66 and the 42. David Wright, he's behind him, pushing Jack Watts. He's now side by side with the leaders as they go into turn number 3. Charpentier also on the top side. It's 3 by 3, 3 rows deep, or 2 by 2, 3 rows deep. Jeffrey Ford in that 4th car inside. So it's about an 8-car breakaway now. Here they come to the start-finish line, Jack Watts. He's pulled a nose ahead. Will he lead this time by here on lap 56? Coming to the line, Mark Jackson. Can they get it? Jack Watts moves into the lead.
I tell you what, these guys, they're racing hard. You could almost call this fast and furious Domino's TYJ racing style. Because these guys are doing everything they can do to lead every single lap here. And I'll tell you what.
Momentum on the top side. Here comes Jack Watts.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my gosh. He pulled up 3-4 car lengths. Jack Watts is now clear. Can he pull down on the bottom? He does. Jack Watts now completely in the lead on lap number 57. Sorry, Robert.
That's fine. Do not count out the guy who's pushing into the lead. There you go, David Wright. I'm telling you what, this is one time you don't see very often in our racing. Here in the Xfinity car, in this setup, in this build, on this track, the outside line has got the momentum, and it is good to see plenty of passes being made.
Lap car on the bottom side of the racetrack. Will he become a factor? He needs to get out of the way quickly. Drew Kessler moves to the outside lane. He gets out of the way. So Jack Watts maintains is your leader, closing in. 30 laps to go. In just a few laps, your top 3. Or top 5, I should say. Jack Watts, Mark Jackson, Judd Danielson, Giovanni Bramante, and Chuck Dix in the 99.
I tell you what, we have not talked about Chuck Dix tonight, but we're going to do real quick Domino's TYJ Racing through the field. If we get a chance to do it, we do have the number 66 of Jack Watts in that pad. That's the sponsor of the race tonight, fans. People against distracted driving. Make sure you don't do it tomorrow morning on the way to work, but we're going to go ahead and get through the field.
Here comes Judd Danielson with Giovanni Bramante in tow. Those two are in team speak, working together, formulating a plan. Here they come to the outside. They got some momentum going. They're trying to get that outside work. And again, they were single file there for about half a lap, but here they come now. 3 on the top side, 4 on the bottom side. Here they come, Giovanni Bramante in the 89. He's going to try and help his teammate, I should say, or his teammate for tonight's race at least, in the 85 machine. Get up front, go side by side for that second spot. About 10 car lengths back to the second pack.
Yes, sir, Gabe. I don't think we have time to do through the field tonight because we have so many lead changes and position changes tonight. But you're absolutely right. The 85 Domino's machine Camaro there of Judd Danielson. He's getting a great push from the 89 of Gio Bramante, a young, very talented driver. He's giving him a great push. It's going to look like he's going to push Judd to the lead. I think they're both going to clear. They're both going to come down.
Here they come. They've got the momentum, but they're in a team speed together. They're working together. I don't think Gio or Judd's going to leave Gio out to dry like that. Here they come. He didn't get clear. He didn't pull down. So a little bit of commitment there from Judd Danielson. Here they come to the line this time by. Judd Danielson will be in the lead once again, and there goes Gio to the outside. He got shuffled out just a little bit, but Charpentier lets him back in line. A little bit of a rookie mistake from that 89 machine, but here they come. Here comes Chuck Dix now in the number 99. That machine looks unstable.
I tell you what, Chuck Dix is a very, very talented driver, especially on these plate tracks.
Oh, Mark Jackson goes to the top side. There goes Mark Jackson into the lead, and that's going to leave Chuck Dix and Jack Watts to the inside. Here they come, Mark Jackson. Oh, that is a mistake from that 3 car. Oh, and there goes the 99 sideways. Up and over goes the 99's barrel rolling in turn number 4. It's Chuck Dix. Oh, unfortunate incident collects David Wright and flips over the 62 Hillary Queen. Not a scratch on that 62, but he ends up 4 wheels down in the grass in turn number 4.
Yes, we'll get the replay pulled up real quick here. It definitely looks like the 99 U.S. Postal Service Camaro got loose on his own. He actually admitted that there in the chat. He got up and got spun around. What a ride for him. Sorry there, Gabe. I hope he's okay.
No. I just commented on that 99. Something must have been going wrong with his steering or something. You know, he may have been caught up in a wreck or something, but you know, he looked unstable for about 2 or 3 laps before that happened.
Yes, I tell you what, he had a really good run going, and at these speeds, again, fans, it's no way to understand this unless you get your Camry, your Honda Accord, or your Ford Fusion. Of course, you might be driving a Lexus, you could be driving who knows what. But if you're not driving those cars at 190 miles an hour, you have no idea what this happens, how this happens, and what it feels like. So, once you start getting loose at 180 miles an hour, which is what happened to Chuck Dix in the 99, it's on from there, and that's just what happens here at plate tracks.
I'll tell you what, while we're sitting here, once they get done with pit stops, I want to talk to Judd Danielson because he's sitting in a pretty good position here closing in. We're going to have a restart with about 30 laps to go to come off of pit road. He's got a little bit of damage on that number 85 machine, but it looks like he's okay. And, oh wow, this could get interesting. Judd Danielson now moves up into the lead with Giovanni Bramante in second. So a huge pit stop. The 3 of Mark Jackson loses a lot of time. Yeah, it looks like some damage on that 85 machine, but I think that was there before. I mean, you know, he was still fast, so I think just some damage from one of the earlier wrecks. Let's actually dial up the 85 if we can get a hold to him.
Yes, sir, Gabe. Try to catch him real quick.
Judd Danielson, hate to interrupt the conversation. Saw you were talking, but how you doing there, bud?
Whew. I'm having some fun. I mean, I know I was working those boys, but yeah, it was tough in the beginning. But I just been nursing this thing. Engine's cool. Got me some fresh shoes, so we'll see what happens here.
You well, the expression is 8 tires are better than 4, but I don't think they mean it in this way because you've got a very committed teammate in Giovanni Bramante behind you for this race. I think you and the 89.
If you can harness Gio, you got a really good driver right there, and we've been working together a lot the last couple weeks. So I think we're gonna give these guys a run for their money as best we can.
I tell you what, you know, I talked about this when Mark Jackson got in front of you guys and jumped to the bottom. I knew that was a mistake because the 89 was not going to let off your back bumper on the top side. If that caution wouldn't have come out, you guys would have been far in the lead.
Yeah, we were working them. I know that Jack and Mark were worried about me, but I'll hold my own. I know what I'm doing out here at this point, so I wish I had a little bit better car. I know my right front, it's the one little thing that's holding me back here, so, but we'll get after them.
Now, you were going to restart if they maintain their positions from the pit stops or from the caution flag. You're going to restart 2nd and 4th. That would have lined up Gio behind you, but now you're going to have Gio to the outside of you.
Yeah.
Now,
he knows what to do. You're going
to try and coordinate this restart just a little bit?
Yeah, we already worked it out. We know what's going to happen here. He's got a cleaner car, so if he decides he's going to pull in front of me, then we're in trouble.
All right. Well, Judd, I'll let you get back to that conversation. I'll let you continue and formulating a plan to come out with a victory in this race.
Thanks, Gabe.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Judd. We do have in the booth right now Nick Reynolds. I tell you what, Nick, you are one of the lone survivors of the Southeast Motorsports team. Is that correct?
No, I got damaged. Curtis spun out there on the back straightaway. I don't know what happened with all that deal, but he kind of rolled down the track, and I didn't have nowhere to go, and I kind of slid him to the wall. But no, Mark Jackson, he he's southeast guy, and Jack Watts back there, he's southeast guy. They're all good to go. So I just hope I don't hold these guys up too bad. The car's really not that bad. It's pretty good as long as I got somebody pushing me, honestly.
Yeah, I just was wondering there. You got Southeast Motorsports on your hoodie or Chevy Camaro, and you're up in third position. And we all know on these plate tracks here at Daytona, Talladega, anything can happen. What do you think your chances are for getting your win tonight?
You know, we won the Crown Jewel race, so we're pretty good on speedways. But I got some tough customers behind me. Mark Jackson in the 3 and Jack Watson 66. They're going to be pretty hard to hold off. Maybe they'll give me a little push up here, but I think we got a good shot as anybody else. Like you said, it's Talladega. You never know what's going to happen.
Yes, sir, Nick. Hey, I appreciate it, and I do wish you and all the Southeast Motorsports boys, men, the best of luck tonight. I'm pulling for you every single race, and I'm sure you can pull it off.
Hey, thanks, Robert.
Yes, sir, Nick. Have a good night.
Well,
Right.
Robert, the flag man, lines them up 2 by 2. He tells them to double it up. We get the restart here. We're just past 30 laps to go. I'll tell you what, it's been a good race. What's your impression so far?
I tell you what, this has been a very, very interesting race. These Xfinity cars here at Talladega and Daytona with the new build, they have a very small spoiler, Gabe. You can probably explain this to the fans better than I can, so I'll let you do that.
All right, well, the Xfinity Series, they wanted to, and also in the Cup Series, you're seeing them get rid of the spoilers a lot. You know, they want to reduce the rear downforce on the back of that car, and meanwhile, that makes the racing a little bit better. It makes them a lot more unstable, and we're seeing that. You saw that with the 99 of Chuck Dix. But the one thing, this new draft model, this is the first time. Usually whenever I'm told to, we're commentating a plate race, I usually groan a little bit because it's going to be a single file effort. Here, in the Xfinity cars for Domino's, it has been awesome. These drivers racing side by side for all of tonight's 65 laps.
Yeah, I tell you what, this has been a really, really big show. I tell you what, Gabe, it's not often that I sit here in the booth with you and I enjoy a race as much as I do tonight. I enjoy all these races. I tell you what, these drivers, they are very talented. They put on a good show every single week. I'll let you take the restart.
Tell you what, they timed that restart perfectly because now Judd Danielson, he can let Gio pull in behind him. He was able to get that jump, and now he's going to have his teammate there behind him. It's going to be those two partners up front, and then you got the Southeast Motorsports guys. They are in 3rd and 4th now. Looks like Ivan Garcia stuck on the outside lane. Behind them is that the 66. Yes, it is a Jack Watts. He would be smart to let up and pull into that driver. Good restart for your top 6. It's a 6-car breakaway up front. There are 3 wide behind them for the 3rd spot.
I tell you what, this stage of the race, that is what you have to do.
I tell you what, that's letting a few of these drivers catch back up. But right now, it's Judd Danielson in a decent command of the lead. He's got Mark Jackson and Ivan Garcia now. So Mark Jackson's left his teammate there on the bottom side. 3 Southeast Motorsports cars, the 3, the 10, and the 66 now in your top 6.
Yeah, I tell you what, Gabe, we have not had a chance to go through what I like to call going through the field. We might not have time here right now, but real quick, we have Judd Danielson in the Domino's. Oh, yes, we did. Camaro. It looks like Mark Jackson in the over-the-top paints at number 3. He's going to move to the lead there going down the backstretch. We have the 072 of Ivan Garcia in 3rd. Give me just a quick second here.
Ivan Garcia continuing to slide back now. Mark Jackson left him all by himself. Oh, and Gio Pamonte almost pulls up into him, and it looks like they're already starting to poke out to the top side behind him. Judd Danielson, if they can get some momentum going. Oh, there goes the 89. He gets a little bit loose on the tri-oval. That bottom side in the tri-oval is bumpy. It can upset a car if you're not careful. Here they come, Gio poking out. Can he get a little bit of momentum going? If they can, that's going to put the 85 to the outside. They will be able to make a move. But do you really want to do that right now? Because if they make that move, that's going to put 3 Southeast Motorsports drivers on the bottom lane.
I'll tell you what, whether you have a teammate or you do not have a teammate, you want to get a win here in Domino's TYJ Racing. And that's exactly what Gio Bramante is wanting to do. He's peeking out there, trying to keep his engine cool. But he might be actually looking for a run there around the 85 of Joe Danielson. It wouldn't surprise me, however, if he sticks with him for the end of the race.
Oh, Gio almost gets put in the middle 3 wide, but he cuts the nose off of the 10 of Nick Reynolds. Nick lets him back into the inside. It would have been 3 wide there. Gio getting a little bit erratic there, but here comes that outside lane. Here comes Ivan Garcia to the outside with help from Kyle Sharpitz here in the 003. Ivan Garcia to the lead. Now coming out of turn number 2. He's got help from Joe Johnson. We haven't talked about him all night. That 83 machine now, he's up in the top 5.
Yeah, I tell you what, like we talked about earlier, you cannot predict what's going to happen on these plate tracks. Joe Johnson, that number 83, a monster. Chevrolet Camaro.
Oh, Ivan Garcia, he a little bit erratic there for the doubles or the 072, and the 003 almost gets into him. Sorry, Robert, I keep cutting you off, but it's
okay.
Up front.
I tell you what, Joe Johnson, he's got a new paint scheme tonight. He is in that Monster Mutant. That's an incredible paint job on the number 83 Chevy Camaro. He is up, looks like, the 6th position. Of course, we have Nick Reynolds in that Southeast Motorsports. He's in 7th. That's another great looking paint job on that Chevy Camaro. Let me know, interrupt me if you need to for the lead.
No, we're okay. Ivan Garcia to the top side. Lap car coming, should be effective in about 2 or 3 laps. But Ivan Garcia with help on the top side. Yet again, he's got to stay in line. He's got to stay stable for that 003 to help him on the top side. But I think who's sitting in a good position is the 85 and the 89. If they can stay in 2nd and 3rd, on the last lap, they could pull out and make a run for the lead.
I tell you what, we've got roughly 24 laps to go here, Gabe. And forgive me, fans, I did not do the math for the lap pit stop. Can they go all the way here on fuel, Gabe?
I'm not sure. I did not look at the fuel before we came. Oh, and Ivan Garcia again. He gets caught up, but he's still in the lead, and there goes Sharpitz here to the inside. He dumps the the 072. He says, I've had enough of this. You're a little too unstable for me, and we're going to move you out of the line. So the 072, he mops to the top side, and there goes the 003, but that's going to cost him some momentum.
Yes, sir. That's 3 wide for the lead. I tell you what, these guys are racing like it was the very, very last lap, and they are getting everything they can get here at Talladega. Here for the pad 250, people against distracted driving fans. Make sure you remember, tomorrow morning you get in the car. Ladies, we love you. We love all y'all. We love all of you ladies. Put your makeup on before you get in the car. Men, do not pick up your phone and drive down the road tomorrow morning and text somebody. Do that before you leave the house. Wait till you get to work. Most people will get to work in 20, 25, 15, 35 minutes. So fans, we are big, big proponents here of PAD, people against distracted driving. Many, many people have lost their lives because of other people who have made, and I got to put this out there, the mistake of driving distracted. So PAD, we love them. We love having them sponsor our races here, Gabe. And I tell you what, these guys are 2x2 for the lead here. Make sure women and men, young women and young men, I don't care if you're 16 or you're 66, make sure you do not drive distracted tomorrow.
I'll tell you what, but that's the perfect sponsor for tonight's race because it's in this 100 mile an hour or 190 mile an hour bumper to bumper traffic. You do not want to be distracted. So here comes that 003. He's going to pull in front of this traffic jam. And now that momentum on the inside. It's going to be a side-by-side battle for the lead still. And while this is going on, I'm going to jump back. I mean, them racing side-by-side, it's allowed the rest of the pack. We've now got 12 cars now in this little lead pack here. So we got a good amount of cars. So if they want to jump to the outside, or even if they want to make a third line, they can do it.
Yes, sir. We do have a whole nother group of cars.
I tell you what, it looks like Jack Watson, Jeffrey Ford, they're at 66, and the 246, looks like they're trying to hook up a little bit. Can they make the move? There's space in the middle. If they want to try and make that move, get to the middle, looks like here comes Sharpitz here with a huge run down the back straightaway. Can they get clear? Sharpitz here will Is he going to wait for Joe Johnson to come down? Looks like he will, so he's going to lose that lead yet again as they come down the front straightaway.
I tell you what, Gabe, that is exactly what you call being a team member. And I think the 003 of Kyle Sharpentier and the 83 of Joe Johnson, they're not even teammates. So it's exactly like I said earlier. You got to pick your friends, you got to pick your teammates, you got to pick who you're going to run with for the end of this race to get yourself in the best position to win the race. And Kyle Sharpentier made an excellent decision there to wait. And now they're getting another run on the outside here. And more than likely, they're going to be able to clear the leader here going down the back stretch. And both of them will be able to be in first and second.
Down to the bottom. He's going to leave Joe Johnson there to the outside. But I tell you what, Robert, that's a perfect example. You know, in 2011, whenever they ran the Daytona 500, you know, in real life, drivers, they had about 10 or 15 different radio, you know, channels to where they could talk to different drivers. And it became a 190-mile-an-hour prom dance because drivers were going, you know, do you want to dance with me? Do you want to be my partner? I said, no, I've already committed to this guy. I'm saying I'm going to be his partner. That's exactly what's happening. You know, if the 83, he wants to get back up front, he's going to duck to the outside, maybe ask the 89, do you want to go up front? And he says, no, I've already committed to the 85 of Judd Danielson.
Yeah, I tell you what, I was dead wrong. And right now it does look like we've got another driver to the outside, Ivan Garcia.
Yeah, it's a mistake from the Ivan Garcia machine. It looks like they were just, you know, weaving back and forth. He thought Joe Johnson was going to go to the outside, but he ends up not going, and he ended up moving to the outside, so they're going to lose a little bit of momentum. At 72, he needs to get that car under control because he's weaving back and forth across the front straightaway. That's a little bit dangerous for the guys in this pack.
I tell you what, it has allowed this second group of cars to catch up. They are led by Nick Reynolds in the number 10. We got Jack Watson, the number 66. Like you said, Gerald Campbell, the number 35. These drivers have been nose to tail, and they have a couple elite group. So in the next few laps, this has also got another driver, Brent Scott, in the 11th position. He's racing that Chick-fil-A paint scheme. Great driver. He misses a lot of the races. He's got a huge family commitment for the most part every single week. It is great to see Brent Scott back in the race tonight. And he's up there, it looks like, 11th position, that Chick-fil-A number 29. But any of these guys, especially since they have caught the lead pack, and
they had them caught earlier, but now that these guys have got single file up front, they've shown that they're the fastest because now they pulled them out to about a half a second gap. I mean, they were Nick Reynolds and Jeffrey Ford. They were to the back bumper. I thought, you know, they were going to work together and get up front. But now it's two separate groups now, and they're just not able to catch up to these guys. And, you know, they're going to have to maintain single file if they want any hope of catching them.
Yes, sir, Gabe, but I got an idea. These guys are going to catch them. And we have a whole other option.
There we go.
There we go.
So he lost a little bit of momentum, and he ended up checking up the 83. That's going to drag him back there. And there goes Jeffrey Ford. Are they going to try and ditch him? They're going to try and push him up there. 72, he's looking a little bit loose there in the tri-oval. Moving up the racetrack, down the racetrack. There it looks like they're going to actually go to the inside of him in the tri-oval. And Ivan Garcia, I mean, all hope to him, but he's trying to make it work on the outside. There goes Gio to the outside. He cuts off the front bumper of the 83 of Joe Johnson. That's not going to go over well.
Yes.
Here comes Ivan Garcia by himself.
I tell you what, he's making a great move there. He's going to go right beside the 85.
So he's going to get some help from Jeffrey Ford in that 246.
I tell you what, you cannot predict what's going to happen here. And Gabe, did we agree? These guys are all going to have to make one more pit stop.
Yeah, looks like William Davis coming into pit. Hold on, let me find out from these guys. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah, I heard the 11 of William Davis is coming down pit road. We got quite a few other drivers. This is where you're going to win this race, Gabe, and fans. Unfortunately, hopefully your pick was the right lucky guess, because that's what you got to have is luck. These drivers are making pit stops here, and it's going to be who you come down pit road with, who is your dancing partner coming off of pit road. Go ahead, Gabe.
I couldn't actually get a hold of Judd or Giovanni while they were racing getting top of the pit box. Oh, the 72 gets spun sideways.
All right, man, caution Caution is out. Caution is out.
Yeah, I was just watching that game. The fans, we will get this replay pulled up real quick here.
72, Ivan Garcia loose by himself in turn number 3. That car had been wanting to break loose for about 30 laps now, and it finally did it, and he ends up taking out Giovanni Bramante. I tell you what, Gio's not worse for wear. I think that 89 machine is... He was able to save it, actually.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay for the restart here.
Yeah, he still maintains his position, actually. Or maintains up front, I should say.
Yes, sir, Gabe. It definitely looks like the 72 just got loose there. And we are going to take our final commercial break here, fans. You are watching the Pad 250 live on All Pro Broadcasting. Make sure, fans, you click the subscribe button. That way you do not miss your chance to win a free large Domino's pizza for the next race. But fans, we'll be right back in just a few minutes, and we're going to take you all the way through to the green flag.
Did your little storm knock out the power? Well, excuse me for not noticing.
Hate to disappoint you, old man Winter. Better luck next time.
If the power goes out, your Generac standby generator goes on automatically.
Down trees? Flash floods? Is that all you've got?
Stand up to the threat of outages with Generac and never feel powerless.
When you're ready,
ServPro, how can we help?
help gets there faster. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-ServPro and ServPro.com. Helping make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driving the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting. Robert. Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driving the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
Back here live at Talladega, we should get the one to go this time. Your updated running order here from Talladega for the People Against Distracted Driving 250. We're closing in on 10 laps to go. Kyle Sharpens here is your leader. Judd Danielson, Mark Jackson, Jeffrey Ford, and Nick Reynolds. Brent Scott, Jack Watts, Gerald Campbell, Ellery Queen, Donald Stewart, and Giovanni Bramante in 11th. Gerald Heffley, Josh Bonwell. So a good chance for Josh Bonwell. Let's see how much damage that number 56 has. Oh, it's a ton. But he ends up catching up to the rear of the field, so he's going to walk away maybe with the top 15. Mark Favorite and Kyle Kamer are your final drivers on the lead lap. So Robert, we have 10 laps to go. When we get the green flag, what's going to happen? Who do you think's going with who?
I tell you what, Gabe, this is where the chess match, and I mean chess match, really starts. Obviously, these guys are in team speak. They're working together. But if I had to make a guess, I can't make a guess. Because so many things can change in these last 10 laps. I'm just looking for a great shootout here to the end.
Well, here's what I see. Judd Danielson, he's had a fast car, but the only partner that he's had the entire race is running in 11th. So if he wants to get up front, if he wants to win this race, and he wants to do it with his buddy that he's been racing with all night, Giovanni Bramante, has got to put the loud pedal down and get out front quickly, because Charpentier and Jackson, they've been working together pretty much the entire race.
That's exactly where, when these races come down to the end there, Gabe, and you've been in a lot of them yourself, you cannot always count on your partner to be right behind you. You got to make new friends fast.
Well, what's the expression? Man makes plans and God starts laughing.
There you go. We all got to remember God's in control of all this. And I tell you what, the winner is going to be lucky, but he's probably going to come from the top 10.
You got 15 cars on the lead lap here. It's going to be Kyle Sharpens here in the lead. I tell you what, we're closing in on the final laps. Let's do one more. Here from Talladega, it's going to be your All-Pro Broadcasting. Crank it up.
Green flag, green flag.
It's getting good up front. Mark Jackson pulled out from behind the 003, and he's now going to the lead with Nick Reynolds and Judd Danielson in tow. The 66 of Jack Watts helping out the 003 of Kyle Charpentier there on the bottom. About a car length back as the 3 gets a little bit loose, hangs on to it. The 24, Jeffrey Ford. He's got the, looks like, should say Ellery Queen behind him with Giovanni Bramante. So Gio, he's trying to make it back up to his teammate. Brent Scott, he jumps to the bottom. It's all happening here. Under 10 laps to go. Closing in on the finish here. Lap number 94 is the final lap. You gotta remember, we do get a caution with 5 laps to go. The race is over with. iRacing does not have a way to do green, white, checker finishes, so that will be the, if you're in the lead with 5 laps to go, you may be looking for a caution. But here they come to the line. Mark Jackson with the momentum. That 3 car on the outside, we talked to him earlier. He said if he's riding in second, or if he's riding anywhere, the place to make the move is on the last lap on the back straightaway, and caution is out.
This changes everything, Gabe. I tell you what, we'll get the replay pulled up here in just a minute.
Looking through, I'm seeing Sean Kalis, and it looks like David Wright, actually. So a couple of drivers 1 lap down. That is unfortunate. Yeah, it's really unnecessary, actually. Looks like the 28 just came down. Oh, that was ugly. The 28 came down behind the 42 of David Wright. So the 28 of Gerald Heffley, just a mistake on that Kodak machine's part. Ended up turning him into the outside wall.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, Gabe, let us know. Are any of these top runners going to take a pit stop?
Judd Danielson said he's close. Let me go ask him.
I tell you what, fans, this is definitely going to line us up for an incredible finish here.
Judd,
go ahead, Gabe.
Judd says he's good to go. So good on fuel is that number 85 machine, and I would assume pretty much they all pit at the same time, so I mean there's no really way you could save fuel except under cautions, and they've all been doing that, so if they've been smart, they should all be okay to the finish.
I tell you what, this is going to definitely make it exciting. And I tell you what, right now, Gabe, anybody can win this race. I'm going to take a quick second here one more time to talk about our sponsor. Fans, we are not going anywhere. We're staying live right here with All Pro Broadcasting. I do want to mention him one more time, fans. Make sure you click the subscribe button for All Pro Broadcasting. That way you get all the alerts for all 3 weekly races we have, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night. You never have to worry about getting a free pizza. You just got to worry about being lucky. That's what it takes. We've got dozens of people every single night chiming in to win their free pizza. But if you get the alert because you click subscribe on All Pro Broadcasting, at least you're in the game. You want to be in the game, don't you, fans? I know me. I don't want to be out of the game. I want to be in the game. This is an incredible experience here at iRacing. We do appreciate all of our fans for watching, so make sure you click the subscribe button. But you are watching the Pad 250 here live on All Pro Broadcasting. One more time, Pad, People Against Distracted Driving. I tell you what, Pad is an incredible organization. I'll be honest with you, I've only known this organization for about 6 months. And of all the sponsors we have, and we have a slew of sponsors, fans, Pad is the most serious sponsor we have. We got sponsors that can clean you up when you have an emergency, and they are great, great, great companies. I am very, very thankful for them. We've got other sponsors. They can give you some serious, hardcore rock and roll music, and we love those sponsors. But I tell you what, Pad, People Against Distracted Driving, this is a serious topic, fans. And I hope all of you that are listening to me tonight, I don't care if you like me, you don't like me. I don't care if you like Domino's TYJ Racing or you don't like us. Obviously, you're watching, you probably do. But make sure, fans, do your little bitty part. Tomorrow morning, I'm getting the car, I'm going to crank the key up, I'm going to go to work. Make sure when you crank your key up and you go to work tomorrow morning, in your car, your SUV, don't put on the makeup, do not pick up the phone until you get to your job. We want to make sure you stay safe. We want to make sure everybody around you stay safe. You've got kids, more than likely. You've got a second half, better half. We want everybody to come home tomorrow night safe. This is how you do it. You do not drive distracted. Thanks again for listening to me preach. And I'm only preaching because this is a very serious topic. Again, thanks for watching. Go ahead, Gabe.
All right, we got one more driver to talk to. It's the first time we've ever talked to a leader who's sitting in the lead. It's Kyle Sharpens here in the 003, that Apex Racing UK Toyota Camry. Kyle, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, we talked to Mark Jackson, and I believe it was James Wormsley had a question for him. When's the right time to make a move? I got to ask you, when are you expecting that move to come? If you're in the lead on the last lap, when are you expecting that move?
The only way you're going to win one of these races is not being in the lead coming out of turn 4 on the white flag and making a move in the tri-oval. That's the only way you're going to win.
Well, I got a quick question. You're in the lead.
Yes.
Sorry, Gabe. Sorry.
What you're saying is, Kyle, you're a sitting duck.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Robert. I was just going to confirm that.
I tell you what, Kyle, you have got a lot of you got a lot of drivers in this series that respect you and your talent. So I would not be surprised to see a handful go with you, whether you go to the high side or the low side. So I tell you what, these guys know you're fast. They know you know how to make moves safely. And I don't think you're sitting duck there, Kyle. I think you can pull this off, although you do have some serious stiff competition behind you. Looks like you got 3 Southeast Motorsports drivers behind you. We got the 3 of Mark Jackson, the 66 of Jack Watts, and the 10 of Nick Reynolds. Hopefully the 85, my good buddy Judd Danielson in the Domino's car will give you some help. But I tell you what, I wish y'all the luck.
Thank you.
All right, Kyle, good luck to you in that Apex Racing UK. Go ahead, the camera. I mentioned that because I've raced with those guys. They're a good group of guys. So good luck to you.
Thank you. Hopefully I'll put on a good show for you guys.
All right, so the self-proclaimed sitting duck is going to start in that first spot. Mark Jackson in 3 on the outside. Jack Watts in 3rd. Nick Reynolds and Judd Danielson are your top 5. This is your final restart of the night. 3 laps to go to decide the winner of the People Against Distracted Driving Pad 250 here at Talladega Superspeedway. Will we see a first-time winner? Maybe Judd Danielson, maybe Jack Watts, or will we see an old favorite, Mark Jackson or Nick Reynolds? Let's see what's going to happen here. Pace car is going to come down the pit road. It's going to be 3 laps to go. Robert, it's going to be a good one.
I tell you what, Gabe.
Sorry,
yes, sir.
16 cars on the lead lap, Robert.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, Kyle Charpentier in the 003 is slowing him down for the restart, but he's getting a great restart here.
Green flag, green flag.
He's actually waiting for the green flag, and Mark Jackson is going to almost equal him to the start-finish line here.
He did not want to get a jump because he's seen what Ivan Garcia did. Jumped out to the lead and got overhauled in turn number 1. But here comes that momentum. He's got the 66 of Jack Watts coming up behind him. Do you want to be in the lead and wait out for a caution, or do you want to try and make your move on the last lap and anticipate it? Here comes Charpentier. He's all alone on the front row. Here he comes, and now the 29 to the outside. Makes it 3 wide, but nobody goes with him. That's going to move the 78 Donald Stewart. Here he comes back to the front. Been a long time since we've seen that 78. They're going to come to 2 laps to go. This time by Charpentier on the inside. Mark Jackson on the outside. The 66 of Jack Watts helping him. The 10 of Nick Reynolds. 2 Southeast Motorsports teammates on the top side. 2 cars wrecking on the bottom. Will there be a caution? I think they're both out of the way. Here they come to 2 laps to go.
Yes, sir, Gabe. This has been extremely exciting. It is still exciting. It definitely looks. Go ahead.
In the flag stand.
Yes, sir. We're staying green. It definitely looks like the 3 of Mark Jackson's giving the 003. This is an incredible number comparison. As the 003 almost gets into the pin.
Ford to the inside. Jeffrey Ford gets on the back straightaway as well. And the momentum carrying 2 cars clear on the top side. The Southeast Motorsports 1-2. So they are now dominating. They're going to come to the white flag coming off of turn number 4. It's the penultimate lap. Can anybody get it done? Here comes Charpentier. He goes to the outside. He's got Donald Stewart behind him. Jack Watson, the 66. Can he get anything done? Here they come to the line. White flag in the air. We are going to finish this race under green.
I tell you what, Gabe.
Stuck in the middle. Mark Jackson in the middle. They're 3 wide for the lead. Down in turn number 1, Nick Reynolds now to the bottom. He's got the lead. In turn number 2, Jack Watts in second. Jack Watts sitting in a good spot. Judd Danielson gets spun sideways. Here they come. It's a 3 wide race for the lead. Down the back straightaway, it's going to be one of these 3 drivers. Who's going to end up making the move? Jack Watts trying to make the move to the middle. Can Southeast Motorsports work off of turn number 4 to win this race? Nick Reynolds in the lead, Mark Jackson to the outside. Jack Watts sitting in a good position. Here they come to the tri-oval with a big push from the 66. Two teammates racing for the lead. Here they come off of turn number 4. Side by side, bumping, banging. The 3 gets caught up. Here they come sideways. The 10 wins it sideways, coming across the line. Nick Reynolds comes away with the victory.
I tell you what, Gabe, I know you are out of breath. I'm going to take a couple of minutes here to review this replay. We had an incident before the checkered flag, but first I'm going to go over this incident coming to the checkered flag. These are 3 teammates. I tell you what, these guys are racing as hard as you have ever wanted anybody to race. These guys are putting on a show you're not going to see in NASCAR. You're never going to see this anywhere else but Domino's TYJ Racing on All Pro Broadcasting. I tell you what, this is incredible.
Well, it was a great finish, but I don't know what Jack Watts was doing. He had no room to make it to that middle. He caused that 3-car wreck there on the front straightaway. I mean, they finished the same order they were going to, but, you know, still a good finish on these guys, but that was a completely unnecessary wreck at the end of it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Gabe. You know, these guys, and this is what I'm going to say every time you hear my voice, these guys are racing hard. The last lap, come to the checkered flag. If you can move up 6 inches and get an advantage and get the win coming to the checkered flag, you're going to try to do that. And that's exactly what Jack Watts did. Unfortunately, it was a mistake. You're absolutely right. But he did what he could do to try to get the win there. And I'll tell you what I like to see, Gabe, is these guys racing this hard, coming to the checkered flag, putting on this show, not for me, not for you, not for the fans, but for themselves. These guys have got some kind of heart that I don't really have, I'll be honest with you. And I love seeing this, Gabe.
All right. All right, Robert Welp. We got the winner upside down, so he's going to have to crawl out of that thing. We're going to get him and try and maybe push that car to victory lane, or we may just do victory lane on the front straightaway. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. We're going to gather up your top 3. We'll be right back here from Talladega Super Speedway at the conclusion of the People Against Distracted Driving 250.
Life and death in my own hands. I am my own justice. I am my own man.
Back here live, Talladega Super Speedway at the conclusion of 94 laps. Nick Reynolds comes across the line sideways and ends up in smoke, but he comes away with a victory. First, we're going to give you a rundown of your entire finishing order. Nick Reynolds comes away with a victory. Mark Jackson comes across the line in second. Jack Watts in the 66 in third. Josh Bonwell, a great recovery with a damaged car, comes home in fourth. Brent Scott, Chad Payne, Gerald Heffley, Kyle Kamer, Giovanni Bramante, and Donald Stewart come home in 10th. Judd Danielson in 11th. Kyle Charpentier, Gerald Campbell, Jeffrey Ford, Curtis Young, Will Davis, Jeremy Crandall, James Somke, Hillary Queen, Mark Frabert round out your top 20. 21st through the rest of the field. Going to run through them quickly. Sean Kalis, Gary Sexton, Ivan Garcia, Andrew Kessler, David Wright, Joe Johnson, Russ Coe, Wesley Whitfield, Chuck Diggs, Craig Lerman, Tyler Chalk, William E. Moore, Mark McFadden, and Jeff T. Martin. Looks like Ramon Vasquez in the 72 did not take the green flag. Well, I'll tell you what, Robert, I'm going to go ahead and grab our third place driver, Jack Watts, in the number 66. Jack Watts sitting down here with you. You come home in third. It was pretty easy to find all you guys because it's all Southeast Motorsports. Top 3. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it was a tough fight, but it was fun.
It's a typical Talladega finish. I mean, we expect to see it, but we never do. The leader upside down across the start-finish line. And you were kind of the guy. Did you just kind of drift up into the 3 as they came across the line, or were you trying to kind of shove it 3 wide, or what happened there?
It was a little of both. I drifted up, and I thought I had enough room to go 3 wide, and I don't know, maybe I seen it a little different than he did. I think he came down a little bit. We just got into it because I told my team I was going for it at the end just like they were, but we ended up wrecking, unfortunately.
Yep, you're going to have to spend all that prize money on fixing 3 cars.
Yes, sir. Sounds like it.
All right. Well, Jack, I think I'm going to hear a lot of this. Who you got to thank for tonight's top 3 finish?
Absolutely Southeast Motorsports. Nick Reynolds, Jeff Martin, Mark Jackson, Tyler, Chalk, Michael Jeans, all of us that are in here at Southeast Motorsports, Matt Clifton, we just bond well together and try our best to be a great team.
All right, Jack, congratulations. I'm going to send it to Robert. He's going to catch up with one of your 2 teammates that are caught up that have finished ahead of you. It's Mark Jackson in the 3.
Because I'm like fucking 25th in points.
Yes, sir, Mark.
For that. Sorry about that, Mark.
Yeah, sorry, Mark. We should have given you a little warning.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. Hey, Mark Jackson in the number 3. You're racing the Earnhardt Senior paint scheme everywhere you race, especially with us here at Dominus TYJ Racing. Is that true?
Yes, sir, it is. Dale Sr. was my favorite driver. We lost him a long time ago. I actually have a 1995 Monte Carlo that was a replica of his 7th championship series win back in the day. Love the Earnhardts and love the RCR family and all those people. So, wow, what a race! It came down to the end with me and Jack and Nick, and just can't say enough about my teammates at Southeast Motorsports. And what a race, man! And really happy that the series sponsor for tonight's race, PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. Just can't say enough about them and their family, the Cleanies, and bringing awareness to that cause.
I tell you what, Mark, you obviously, I can hear it in your voice. You have a deep relationship with the number 3 Dale Earnhardt Sr. Not everybody does. I'll be honest with you. I do not. But I tell you one thing. I definitely think he's one of the greatest drivers in the history of NASCAR. On top of that, and more importantly, to be honest, in my opinion, PAD. I tell you what, this sponsor that came on to sponsor quite a few races with Dominus TYJ Racing, and we do have to thank Michael Lawler for that. He has worked with PAD and paid the money to sponsor these races. People sometimes do not realize how important it is to not drive distracted. You see it every day. I see it every day. And I'm happy you brought it up there, Mark. On top of that, I'm happy that you're part of one of the greatest teams, and I mean this sincerely, that has ever come across to Dominus TYJ Racing. I am so thankful for Southeast Motorsports, you and your teammates, all of them, for being part of what we're doing here. We're trying to provide an environment for you guys to be on the fast track to fast. That's for everybody. We know what we're doing. And you proved it tonight. Your team proved it tonight. You guys were working together. You guys got the top 3 finishes here. And I tell you what, who else would you like to give thanks to tonight? And I just want to one more time thank Southeast Motorsports for everything you guys do to be part of what we're doing here at Domino's TYJ Racing.
Thank you, Robert. I do want to thank the Domino's franchise for sponsoring our races and running for that name. You know, a couple of weeks ago we went in to collect that free pizza that we won at Dover when we was at the truck race. And then we was telling them about it, you know, and I was showing them on my phone, the racing broadcast. They was like, wow, man, that is so cool. And all that and stuff. And, you know, it's a great league to race in. There is a hell of a lot of good competition in here. And since joining these boys over here at Southeast, we're learning and we're doing better. And we had a good run tonight. You know, some people say it's a super speedway race and anybody could win, but it came down to some strategy and some teamwork. And it was a tough race, man. The car was loose. You couldn't bump draft like you used to could with this new sport package. You know, you watch those guys, the real guys, on Saturdays and Sundays, and it's pretty much the same deal. I think it's about as real as it gets. And with that said, man, really, I just got to thank my fiance, Kristen, my mom, for supporting me, doing what I love to do here at home and racing. And thank you guys for putting this on.
Now,
Hell of a race.
Robert, I got to say something real quickly. Mark, you're a huge Dale Earnhardt fan. I just got some news. His grandson, Bobby Dale Earnhardt, he's racing for Hickson Motorsports in the ARCA Racing Series at Toledo.
Wow.
And what car? What car number? Hickson owns the number 3.
Awesome. Awesome.
So, ARCA Series debut for one of the Dale Earnhardt family. We get one moving out and maybe one moving back in.
That would be really cool to see. You know, in a different sim, the ARCA Racing sim, I remember running that simulator too in the Toledo is one of the good tracks there. I had a lot of fun at that place. I wish him well. I really do.
All right, Mark, well, congratulations on your second spot. And now I'm going to talk to your other teammate, Nick Reynolds. Nick Reynolds, congratulations. We had to cut the car in half to get you out of it, but you're in victory lane. The car is in pieces. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gabe. It's Mark done a pretty good job on it there at the end. It's tore it pretty bad.
You may want to thank the guy who was behind you pushing you to the victory because he helped in that too, but Southeast Motorsports wads it up across the start-finish line but still finishes top 3. If that doesn't say Southeast, I don't know what does.
Hey, man, we'll take it any way we can get it. I promise you that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nick, you walk away with a victory. Now, let me see where you're at in points because I didn't look at it earlier, but you know you're looking pretty good for the championship. You think you can walk away with it maybe in a few months?
Hey, man, that's the whole goal here, right? You know, we got 2 wins so far: one Daytona, one Talladega. Got a pretty good bit of top 5. Led a bunch of laps at Martinsville. Led a bunch of laps other places. Just couldn't come away with the win, but I'm just glad to get the second win of the season here for us, for everybody at Southeast Motorsports, and I think we got a shot at it just like anybody else does.
You guys keep racing like you have. You may just walk away with the championship, but I know it was a great sight. I think for all you Southeast guys to, you know, when you came across the line for the fault with the white flag, you had 3 cars up front, and then all of a sudden, everybody else wrecked out behind you. That was pretty much a confirmed victory.
Yeah, it was. That was a good sight to see in the rearview mirror. I had Jack up pushing me hard, so I really couldn't see what was going on behind me, but I'm just glad he stuck with me. And, I mean, it wouldn't matter if Mark would have won or Jack, or it wouldn't matter who won as long as it was a Southeast car. That's all it really matters, right?
That's all that matters. But you guys get the top 3. Congratulations. Nick, who you want to thank before we let you go?
I like to thank my girlfriend Lindley. She lets me do a lot of this stuff, and she puts up with all my crazy teammates and all of our messages we got going back and forth all through the day. Andrew Williams, man, he is an awesome dude. He is an awesome spotter. He could not be here tonight, but I want this win to go to Andrew. He does so much for Southeast Motorsports behind the scenes that people don't even know. And just everybody at Southeast Motorsports, John Hendrick over the top paint designs. He paints all of our cars. He does a great job. If you need a car painted, check him out. He does an awesome job. Everybody at Domino's.
I think you're going to need to visit your paint guy there.
I think we're going to need more than a paint guy. I think we're going to need a new race car.
Well, you got the goodie out of that one.
Oh, yeah. There's no more left in this one.
All right, Nick, well, congratulations there. And I throw it up to Robert for final thoughts. Congratulations to your top 3, all Southeast Motorsports.
Thank you, Gabe.
I tell you one thing. This is an honor being a part of this racing league. It is an honor for me to be part of racing, being a part of what's going on here. And it's not because of Domino's, TYJ. It's because of Gabriel Wood. It's because of Curtis Young. It's because of Michael D'Amico with All Pro Broadcasting. Make sure you click that subscribe button, fans. It's also because of great teams that have come to our league, and they are putting up the numbers like Southeast Motorsports. I just want to give a great big shout out to Nick Reynolds, Mark Jackson, Jack Watts, Dustin Lee. If I'm missing one of those drivers from Southeast, please forgive me. Those guys, I think, have probably got the best group of a driver group in Domino's TYJ Racing, and it's showing right now. Look at this. They got first, second, and third, Gabe. So I tell you what, this race was incredible. We had a lot of guys had great finishes tonight. We had some guys haven't been, doing a whole lot. We got Brent Scott. He finished in 5th. He's in that Chick-fil-A 29. He's got a lot of family commitments. He cannot race many races. He showed up in 5th tonight. Great job for him. Chad Payne in the number 9. Office HQ. He finished up in 6th. Great run for Chad. A lot of guys. Kyle Kamer, Giovanni Bramante, Donald Stewart, Judd Danielson fell back to 11th on the lead lap. But I tell you what, Gabe, I will say it one more time. I am just thankful and honored to be part of this. And I tell you one more thing, fans. Make sure you're not distracted. A pad is serious. Your safety is serious. If you've got kids in the back seat of your car tomorrow, in the back of your Honda, in the back of your Toyota, in the back of your Ford, in the back of your SUV, and you're going to work tomorrow, do not pick up the phone. Make sure you do not drive distracted. This is a very, very, very serious thing. Every single day, people have accidents and deaths occur because of distracted driving. Make sure you're not one of those people. And Gabe, I tell you what, I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for being here. From Michael D'Amico, Gabriel Wood, this is Robert McFarland. Make sure, fans, do not drive distracted. This was your pad. People against driving distracted. 250 here at Talladega. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night to get your next chance to win the free pizza. And by the way, tonight's winner is Chris Jefferson. He is from Cincinnati, Ohio. He gets that large 3-topping carry-out pizza, carry-out only. And we'll see you tomorrow night for the Thursday night race. Have a good night.